Howdy, everyone. Welcome back to stream. Welcome back to Mellow Monday. Hyperion, thanks for dropping in, buddy. Hi. Yes, the daily cookies. A cookie of the daily. Of course. Glad to see you, bud. How's your day going? Voltron, thank you for dropping in, redeeming your daily cookie. What cookies are we getting here? We got white chocolate macadamia now. We got an oatmeal raisin. I really should update the oatmeal raisin to be like cinnamon oatmeal raisin, because those are a little bit better. In my personal opinion. Jimmy, thank you for dropping in, getting your sugar cookie for the day. Nom 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 nom. Pyre, thank you. You got a gingerbread cookie. Yum 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 yum. You have sugar cookies too? Oh, you have actual sugar cookies? Nice. I do like me some sugar cookies. I gotta admit. My favorite still are I like the little butter cookies, the ones you get in the blue tins, usually around the holidays. I really, really like those. They're addictive. Them and, God, what are there's the Girl Scout cookies. They got like a chocolate drizzle on them. They got coconut in them. They're like a little bit crunchy inside. Samosas or something like that. Samosa's a drink, isn't it? Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong name. Either way, they're absolutely delicious. The Thin Mints are really cool too. I actually had a buddy who's really, really into making his own beer, who made, because I'm not a huge fan of beer, he made me a custom beer that he didn't tell me about until he gave it to me, which was something called the GSC. It was Girl Scout cookie. It was a stout that tasted exactly like a Girl Scouts Thin Mint cookie. Alright, we've been taking a ton of damage recently, so I kind of want to get myself a little more thick skin. Sabrina, thank you for redeeming your daily cookie. I have chocolate chip cookies. Awesome. Pyre, they changed the name recently on them. I don't remember what they're called. Yeah, I think I remember something about that, because there was something like, I guess, like, if I remember correctly, I think the name just wasn't terribly PC or something like that. Let's see, some gumption. Looking for additional ways to, like, increase my defense. Just a little bit. There. But hi, everybody. I'm so happy to see everyone here. This is so nice to see all of you. I hope everybody's having a really nice evening. Just nice, chill, super relaxed. Hope you guys are ready for some laughs, because as is always the case with West of Loathing. I'm really looking forward to playing Shadows of Loathing now. Like, the more that I've gotten into this game, the more I'm interested in, like, checking out Shadows over Loathing too. Okay, so we're still missing some people here. Gary, what am I doing? Wow, this is the biggest house I've ever seen. No, but old Granddad's seen. Oh yeah, that giant cactus. I guess that qualifies as a very large house. This one had no spines having. How is an animal's not eating it? If you know an animal that can eat bricks, I don't want to know about it. Okay, then not telling you. Okay. Out looking, a flat woman with eyes moving at us. That's a painting. I'm pretty sure the moving eyes are just an optical illusion. Sure you are being very strangeness. It is having. Pretty sure. Actually, I just... Oh, darn it. I needed to ask him, like, what's the next thing to do? Huh. Okay, so he actually doesn't tell me about here. Maybe she does. Okay, 6 ghosts left on the premises. There's 1 left on the first floor, 2 left on the second, and 3 on the third. There's 1 elevator girl who hates us. I know there's also, like, there's a wizard, too, that we haven't dealt with. Okay, there's this guy that's eating constantly. Do I have a gun that I can cook up now in the kitchen? This little placard on the stove says chili stove. How very specific. You need a bowl of chili to give to that ghost in the dining room. This stove seems relevant to that need. Unfortunately, ever since your conversation with him, you're not even sure you know what chili is anymore. Maybe you should do some research. Alright. Okay, so I hear research. What floor do you want to ruin next? Go to the 2nd floor. I'm sorry! What the hell? Chili, a savory soup made from beans, spices, and a gun. Okay. God, that girl really hates me. This is the most American chili ever. Oh, hello again. Were you able to find some gutless chili? I'm really starving here. Sorry, I'm working on it. Yeah, I don't want to kill him. I don't want to kill him. Okay. You need a bowl of chili to give to that ghost in the dining room. This stove seems relevant to that need. According to the dictionary, you need some spices, some beans, and a gun. Oh wait, except you're trying to make chili without a gun in it. So you have to remember to skip the gun part. Okay, keep it together, Callista. Spices. Yeah, you got that under control. You grab a chili pot and put it on a burner. Throw in the spices. You shake... Let's see, you shake a heaping helping of chili spices into the pot. The next step is beans. Fortunately, you find yourself embarrassingly beanless, devoid of legumes, sans haircuts, as the French say. Better go find some beans. I mean, I would think in the larder, but... Cans of every shape, size, and food you don't like. Grab another string bean can? Oh, string bean can, because that was used for the silencer, I think? Pantry. Okay, that's right. The pantry doesn't actually have that. I'm pretty sure that's a reference. It probably is. Okay, there's definitely not going to be beans in here. Okay. I'm trying to think logically in a game that has no logic. But I'm going to try something. See, there's a garden over here. So there's a hedge maze. Weird, this bush seems to be full of pinto and kidney beans. You didn't think those grew on bushes. And you especially didn't think they grew on the same bush. Hey, these might make decent chili. Hey, there we go. Let's try that. I sent it to you. One moment. One moment. Ah. I don't know, because I don't know if that anime is older or if this game is older. Alright, throw in the spices. Okay, the mixture of spices and beans is bubbling merrily. Now for the final ingredient. A gun. No, no gun! You're restraining yourself from adding a gun. Step back and admire your handiwork. It's not according to Hoyle Chili, because it doesn't have a gun in it, but it is chili with no gun in it, which is the thing you were after. Chili sin pistols. The ghost is pretending to cram his face with invisible food. It's weird what people will do for the sake of politeness. I'm back, and I got a bowl of 100% gun-free chili right here. Oh my gosh, thank you so... Oh, is something wrong? Well, see, I can only eat ghost food. How do I... Do you need me to murder this chili for you? Not to put too fine a point on it, but yes. Alright, I guess I'll try to find a humane way to do that. Okay, that guy's too busy. Oh, he's part of the museum staff, too. Talk about your... Hey, do you ever make chili? Sure, doesn't everybody? Do you put a gun in it? Come on, you can't hardly even call it chili if it doesn't have a gun in it. No, I'm just kidding, that's insane. Then why was it in the dictionary? Stoves of no more use to me. How do I kill chili? Maybe by going into my inventory and looking at it. It has 0 guns in it. Okay, 6 ghosts. Okay, 1 left on the first floor, 2 on the second, and 3 on the third. Let's see. Well, while I'm trying to figure it out, let's go out to the hedge thing again. This just makes me want to watch Monty Python every time I see the silly walks. Ari, thank you for the sub. I appreciate that. Sub for 15 months in a row. Goodness. Bubble, thank you for the follow. Much appreciated. You could probably use herbicide on those guys from a distance. Sure, do it. Alright, thank you for redeeming your daily cookie. Ooh, thanks. You think a gal could sit and eat her lunch in a weird hedge maze without getting accosted by monsters? What is the world coming to? You said it. Is it safe to go? I should get back to work. What do you do here? I work in the visitor center. I run the token smashing machine. We sell these little brass tokens stamped with the museum logo. You can either use them in the wishing well or run them through a machine that rolls them out flat and stamps the museum logo onto them. That's my job. It stamps the museum logo onto them again? Yeah, but they're longer after that. Huh. So you think it's safe to leave yet? Yeah, you should be fine. The lady leaves. Get it? Leaves. I have no idea if I can take him on or not. This must be the hedge wizard. Give him a trimmin'. Um... Huh, that didn't do a whole lot. Let's get beefy. You only succeeded in kicking the hedge wizard's ass down the road a ways. It was still pretty satisfying. Let's chase the jerk down. It's a big topiary W. Maybe it stands for why would somebody make a topiary W? Well, at least he didn't run very far. Not far enough by far. Shoots for 19. Shoot for 3. Is there a way I can gain a quick AP back now that I think about it? There. Okay, this is getting pretty annoying. Find him and end it. Okay, I kind of want to take out the bat, I think, because it heals. Granted, I kind of want to take him out, too. Oh, wow. Oh, that's not so bad. Let's see, 20 damage and disable, 15. Nah, we'll just smack him around. Oh, hello! Welcome, thank you for redeeming your snickerdoodle. Okay, you got an item, the Hedge Wizard's Journal, Hedge Wizard's Orb, and a magic-infused leaf. Shrubbery Bush. Secret Stash. Hedging your bets and meat. Okay, what do we got? The journal. Somebody scroll private. Do not read. Hedge Wizard on the spine of this journal. Well, of course I'm going to read it. It's full of terrible poetry. Here's an example. Everlasting shrubbery, nobly leaf-crowned, whence comes all joy, sweet thy fragrance, wondrous thy strength. Namaste, my lord. Okay. I think I understand what that's for, actually. Offhand item. Magic-infused leaf. This leaf still tingles with the magical energy that animated it when it was a part of a malevolent topiary beast. Make something? Huh. Hedging your bets. This is the book of the Hedge Wizard used to earn enough meat to become a wizard. The terminology is just a fun coincidence. Learn about the things that our financial responsibility and decorative horticulture have in common. After reading the book, you resolve to make some budget cuts. But you instead mistake the book for your budget and cut it to pieces instead. How's the games going? The game is going fantastic. We're actually doing... So we've already actually beaten this game. But this is the DLC that we can play kind of whenever. FYI, by the way, it says ads are supposed to start in 3 minutes, but I think that that's a lie. But if you guys end up in ads in 3 minutes, please let me know. But I don't think you should end up in ads. Okay. So. Let's see. So that's where we went in there. Okay. Oh. A hedge sphere. That's interesting. More leaves. A sign on the wishing well says tokens only. I don't have any tokens. Do I? You hold the token on the well and try to think of something to wish for. After a few seconds, you accidentally drop the token in the well without making a wish. Dang it, I wish I had that token back. Hear some chimes and a rope appears in the wishing well's crossbeams. How about that? Oh, grab the token. Little spigot here. Oh, this is in the basement, isn't it? Okay. Noted. So now we can kind of get around a little bit easier. Kind of. Okay. So this is the actual maze. So I actually want to look at this really quickly. Everlasting shrubbery. No, okay. East, north, west, south. West, north. East. God, I'm so sad I can't even remember this. Northwest, south. And then west, north. Hedge Wizard's orb starts vibrating as you get close to this weird human-shaped bush. Touch it. The head straightens up and speaks. Not you again. Wait, you're not him. Phew. No, I'm Callista. Nice to meet you. I'm the Hedge. The Hedge? Yeah, the Hedge. The source of all the magic in the maze, yada yada. More, I can't tell you how glad I am to see somebody besides that dorky wizard. Did you... Yep. I took care of him. Thank you, I made the mistake of granting him a boon, and he started treating me like a god or something. Coming around day after day, prostrating himself before me like a huge dweeb. Just awful. I mean, sure, I'm powerful and all that. But it's not like I did anything to get this way. I mean, I'm rooted to the ground, for heaven's sake. I just grew this way. Anyway, you mentioned a boon? Oh, sure. I guess I owe you that much for getting rid of the clown. Here you go. The hedge bends toward you and touches you with one of his boughs. You got a perk. Boon of the hedge. Thanks. Don't mention it. Now, I should be getting back to my business here. You see yourself out, right? Yup. Okay, so what did that actually... What does that give me? So we got hedging your bets earlier. 20% to meat gains, which is awesome. Boon of the hedge. Wow, +3 to all stats? That's actually kind of nice. I have 752 experience right now, so... Brennan, hello! Okay. I think that's it for the hedge maze, I think? Because this one went... Oh. Oh, no, this one you can actually just do a whole bunch of foraging in, now that I think about it. You pluck some leaves and drop them all in the pot of your tea service. You got an item, tea service with tea leaves. Huh. That actually could be really handy, and I think I know exactly what for. Okay, so this is the one that goes to the well. Actually, hold on. Aha! You pour some boiling water in your teapot. Voila, you got an item, tea service with tea. Perfect, I know exactly what that's for. Hey Sean, how's it going? It's going great! We're just getting through some West of Loathing. Just doing the DLC for it. And just kind of having fun. Oh no. I'm stuck. Okay. That's good. Okay, this was the Hedge Wizard. And then there's nothing else over here. Okay, so that should be it. God, I'm really glad I looked around because the little girl wanted a tea party. I just don't remember where she is. The guy who wanted the gunless chili is down here. Gallery. Restroom. Guest rooms. Maybe she might have been in a guest room? You figure out how to make a good exploding cigar? Well, that doesn't turn fun into a funeral? No, not yet. Okay. Yeah, she would... Huh. Okay. Yeah, definitely not in here. Maybe she's upstairs? Yeah, because that's the library. Mrs. Gunn's room, Mr. Gunn's room. The music room. Kids' rooms. Here we go. Nope. This one. Hello again, ma'am. Did you find some real tea? I sure did. Here you go. Yeah, and I actually got her tea, because the goblet of blood I don't think is a good idea. Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you. She serves the tea, and the four of you, okay, well, not the doll, sip it with your pinkies extended in a genteel fashion. Then with a giggle and a wave, she fades away. Rest in peace, kiddo. Oh, thank God. I thought that would never be over. Look at me. I'm shaking like a leaf. Kind of a freaky situation, right? Having to deal with little kids freaks me out bad enough. Having to interact with the ghost of one was horrifying. Anyway, thanks for the rescue. I need to get back to work. What do you do here? I run the candy counter in the visitor center. Oh, huh. Alright. So that's one less ghost on the top floor. There's two ghosts, so there's two ghosts up on the top floor. I want to say there's two on the second floor. Let's see. 5 ghosts left. So there's 1 first, 2 second, and 2 on third. And I don't know who's on first. Talk to her about your current location. Thanks, talk to you later. Okay. Let's actually go downstairs. I want to go check out the store, or the visitor center really quick. Let's see what we got going over here. Oh wait, thanks again for rescuing me from the hedge maze. Hello, either I've never asked you what you do here, or I've already forgotten. I run this token smashing machine. If you buy one of the commemorative tokens from that other machine over there, I can put it in this machine here and roll it out flat. Well, flatter. And stamp it with our logo on one side and a fun picture on the other. Can I interest you in one? I have to. I collect smashed pennies. I love this stuff. Sure. Great, I love running this thing. It's so satisfying. What picture do you want on it? A badass shotgun, a magical rifle, or a cool pistol? Badass shotgun, because I think I know what this is for. Nice, that's one of Mrs. Gunn's loudest inventions, you know. She takes your token, puts it in the machine, and happily turns out the crank. It makes a loud grinding noise, and your token drops out into a slot, somewhat longer and thinner. Thanks! Want to smash another one, maybe with a different design this time? No thanks. That goes in your offhand. What's in my offhand right now? Oh my god. That's a huge upgrade. Plus 4 melee attack damage versus 15 and 9 muscle. I still want another one of these, just for fun. Okay, parking validation, the person doing the music, got the info guy, the greeter, the candy guy. Do some shopping. What do we got? Fire-flavored candy stick, gunpowder-flavored candy stick, or steel-flavored candy stick? Huh. Okay. Okay, we still got to figure out how to murder some chili. How do you murder chili? Well, I guess let's look into some other stuff up on the second floor. There's 2 ghosts up here. Oh, that's right. He's waiting for her. Alright, let's argue. Let me just do a quick review. A duel is legal provided it's between exactly 2 people at a specific prearranged time and place, using the same or at least essentially similar weapons. And they have to either face each other down and quick draw at the appointed moment or do the 10 paces turn fire routine. That's the gist of it, yes. So I guess let's start with you telling me the facts of the case, and I'll interrupt you rudely if I have any questions. Alright, but if you push me on trivial nonsense, I'll get mad and you'll have to start over. Okay, that seems totally fair. McCready and Timsbury got into an argument in a saloon on the evening of June 17th. Timsbury accused McCready of cheating at poker. The bartender yelled at them to take it outside, but since it was dark out, they agreed to meet for a duel the next day. That'd be the 18th. Okay, so June 18th, 1878. Go on. The next day, they both showed up shortly before noon and squared off about 30 feet from each other. When noon struck, McCready fired, fast enough that Timsbury didn't get a shot off on account of having his head shot off. It's pretty much the long and short of it. Okay. I'm gonna have to ask some more details on that. What weapons were they using? He fired exactly at noon. You said there were witnesses. Half a dozen of them watched from across the street or peeking through half-open shutters. Were they interviewed? Yes, and the stories lined up with what I just told you. Were any of them known associates? Not aware of any of them being actual friends of McCready, but he was local and a lot of people knew him. Wait a minute, just where are you going with... Any one of those people could have interceded on McCready's behalf. Done what exactly? They could have just shot Timsfield with a more accurate weapon or a rifle. Okay. I wonder... If I remember right, I think you have to explode it, shoot with a special gun, something like that. Maybe. I know you're talking about the chili, I assume. Alright. You also mentioned McCready's pocket watch. He had a fancy pocket watch that chimed in the hour. Is that important for some reason? I'm just not reading these out because we've already kind of read these on another one. Okay, so specifically they had to do this because they were gunfighters. Is it the pocket watch? So it kind of has something to do with the pocket watch. Here's the problem. Oh, she ran into me. I know how this story ends. This one is actually really, really good, and I really like this story. But I can't remember how to trigger something. See, the thing about it is, it actually doesn't have anything to do with the initial gunfight. That's the problem. Maybe she has a hint. Oh, yeah, no. I don't want you to just take her out. Is Gary in here? Oh, that's right. Gary won't give me anything either. Okay. Darn it. Okay. I know that there's more to it. Drag! Thank you for the subscription. I greatly appreciate it. The librarian's gone. That doesn't help. Let's go to the third floor. Okay. Hmm? What was this? Oh, this was the stuffing for the silencer. Oh. The ghost conductor is still here. The energetic music playing in my head makes it simply impossible for me to find any peace. Oh. Play the lullaby. I didn't realize I could play the piano. Well, now, that was nice. Oh. The baton he dropped is gone. Okay. 4 ghosts. One on the first, 2 on the second, 1 on the third. I want to go to the first floor. Paint. Some coal. There's the coal chute. Lots of coal. All the coal. A weird mannequin. The big cave with full of spiders. The thing I don't really need. Okay. We're just going floor by floor by floor again. I'm missing something. I just don't know what I'm missing. Tiny stick of dynamite. Oh, I have a cheap cigar right there. Examine it. Wait a second. What if you stuck this in one of those cigars you found? It just took me going to my inventory. Oops. Whoops. Did you figure out how to make a good exploding cigar? One that doesn't turn fun into funeral? I can't even make basic wordplay funny. It's kind of clever, but I think this is what you're looking for. That's an exploding cigar? Yep, sometimes a cigar is just a cigar, but not this time. What did you use for the explosive? Found a really small firecracker, just big enough to blow up the cigar without also blowing up someone's face. Also without, you know, the violent lead projectile. You're a genius. Please let me see it in action so I can fully rest. Light it up. There we go. Okay, that means it's the guy with the chili. So the guy with the chili is down there. The lady in the gallery, and I know who the final ghost is. At least I'm pretty sure I know who the final ghost is. Okay, we know the music room is empty. Mrs. Gunn won't come out of her room. Okay, that's for fighting. It's just weird that there's a goblin head on the wall. Wow, you hope never to meet a live duck this big. Yeah, I hope not. Trapdoor in the ceiling over here. It's too bad you aren't like 11 feet tall. Okay, so there's nothing really to do up here. The library and the gallery are here. Sofa with some nice throw pillows on it. Smother the chili with a pillow? What the hell? Chili sin pistola es muerto? What the... Alright. Okay, I've euthanized your chili. Here you go. You hand the ghost the ghostly bowl of chili, and he immediately gobbles it up. With a long, finally satisfied sigh, he dissipates. Happy trails, big guy. Thank you so much for dealing with that ghost. I'm exhausted. What were you even doing? He kept demanding ghost food, but I don't really know how to cook except like nachos and popcorn. And I just a regular kind, not ghost nachos and popcorn. But he was really insistent, so I figured ghost food is probably invisible, right? So I just pretended and gave him empty plates. I guess it worked, even though that doesn't really make any sense. Huh. Anyway, thanks again. I work at the snack bar in the visitor center, so I'll see you around there. You gain 65 experience. What the hell? Alright, let's go see what's at the snack bar. I might have to look something up regarding the McCready case, because I don't remember what triggers her to mention something specific, and I don't really want to spoil it. Deep fried holster. Melee damage and armor by 15 for the rest of the day. Ooh. That's actually really nice. Okay. How much experience do I have? A little bit. Not too bad. Beef up. First aid. Haymaker or the Menacing Moo? Yeah, Menacing Moo. Okay. Actually, let's go back to the visitor center, just in case anybody can tell me anything. I doubt that he can. Okay. Okay, so no, that didn't have anything to do with it either. So there's nothing to do with the hedge here, though. You know, I did not notice that that painting follows on the left. Okay, it's a plaque. Pretty much all the rooms should be empty by now. So... do I have an item on me? So it's not an item I have on me. I have gun law and dual law. Yeah, there's something she's not telling me. Okay. Maybe I figured that out. Okay, objection. Gah! McCready has been accused of cheating in the past, and this time he was. What are you even talking about? All he had to do was set his watch a few seconds early. That doesn't make any sense. He didn't shoot early. He shot when the church bells rang. That's verified by witness testimony. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying he used the watch to warn him when the church bells were about to ring. A 5-second get ready alert would have given him a huge advantage in reaction time. Ha! What do you say to that, counselor? You know, I'll give you that one. That's not bad. There's just two problems with the argument. Oh, what? Firstly, you're just guessing. You have no evidence. Well, and secondly, even if McCready was using a trick, which he may well have been, he was pretty clever, it wouldn't be illegal. There's nothing in dual law prohibiting the use of minor strategies like that. So as long as McCready didn't fire before the appointed time, it's all above board. Nice try, Mr. Prosecutor, but I think you'd better go about this case a bit more. Think about this case a bit more before trying again. She pushes you out of the gallery and shuts the door behind you. Ah, god damn. Okay. So there's nothing illegal about that. Okay. Okay. I'm literally just going to have to go through each of these options one by one by one by one until I get her to talk about there's something really specific. Okay, I don't think it's this. Oh, here we go. Objection. God, what the heck? McCready fired at the wrong time. What are you talking about? He fired exactly at noon with the church bells. There are witnesses. That's right, he fired at clock noon, but the duel was set for high noon. They aren't the same thing. High noon is just when the sun is at its highest point in the sky. Depending on geography and the time of year, it can be hours different from clock noon. McCready fired early, and that makes the duel illegal. What do you say to that, counselor? I've got to hand it to you, Prosecutor Earp. You're a lot better at this than I was giving you credit for. That's a good thought you had there. There's just one problem with it. Oh, what's that? I already thought it. Take that. She hurls a small book at you, which you just barely managed to catch. The 1878 Nautical Almanac. What the heck is this? I did my homework. When I was preparing for the trial, my legal homework, since at that time I expected there to be an actual trial, not a gunfight. What you're holding there is a nautical almanac for the year 1878. There are bookmarks if you'd like to do the math yourself, but if you look up the solar noon, aka high noon, for June 18th and make the adjustments for Reno's longitude, what do you think you get? You've got to be kidding me. That's right, Ms. Prosecutor, 12 o'clock p.m. precisely. No! Well, damn. Nice try, though. I mean that sincerely. That's all my ammo. I can't think of any other way to disprove McCready's innocence. As far as I can see, it was a fair duel. Yes. And that's me with the guilt of an innocent man's death on my hands. An innocent man's death. You sure are good at repeating things people say. What if he didn't die? Say what now? Well, you didn't actually see the execution, right? Yes, well, I was indisposed, you might say, being dead and all. So you don't know whether or not it actually happened. Oh, come on, look, I appreciate the effort, but you're barking at the moon. Let me ask you something. What can you tell me about McCready? He was a gunfighter through and through, and by that I mean he was an adrenaline addict and dueling was his needle of choice. Hell, if you told me you had evidence that he cheated at poker with the specific intent of baiting people into challenging him to duels, I wouldn't be the least bit surprised. He was a sly one. Her expression softens as she sighs. I make him sound like a real devil. That's not fair. He was smart and charming and could have been a good man if he chose an entirely different life for himself. Anything else? Well, I recall he had a real good head for numbers. He told me that he never forgot a date and every man he'd ever killed. He remembered to pour a beer on their grave on their birthday. Well, that's nice. Mm-hmm. Nicer birthday present would have not been killed them in the first place, of course. Yup. I have another question. Why did he invoke trial by combat? Assuming he was innocent, why would McCready invoke trial by combat? His case is pretty straightforward. A duel only worsened his odds. I was mighty surprised, let me tell you. The only thing I can figure is it was his damn fool sense of gunfighter's pride or something. Like, that was the only form of justice he was willing to submit himself to. I have another question, then. Was the trial right after the duel, the 19th? Ha! No. I don't know what Reno's like now, but I didn't have a proper courthouse then, and you can't try a murder charge on the sheriff's front parlor. McCready sat in jail for a couple of weeks, and then they transported him to Frisco. Well, with one thing and another, the trial didn't start until July 25th. Geez, so much for the right to a speedy trial. The wheels grind slow. I have another question. When was the execution? Well, we held the trial by combat on the 26th, and that was a Friday. They don't execute prisoners on the weekend, so presumably it would have been the following, Monday the 29th. In the morning? Well, with setting up the gallows, letting the crowd gather, they usually happen in the afternoon, around 3 typically. I have another question. I'll be back. I may have to do research. So actually, it's this. Look up a date. This book is almost entirely tables and numbers labeled things like logarithm of the radius vector of the Earth, blah, 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 blah. You can look up any day in the year 1878 in it. Although, who knows if you'll be able to figure out anything from what it gives you. Look up a date. Ah, damn. What date did she just give me? Okay, never mind. I know exactly what I need to look up, but I need her to tell me. Was the trial right after the... Okay, 19th, July 25th. That was when McCready's trial started. No special astronomical events that day as far as you can tell. Never mind. Oh, wait. What was the date of his execution? Trial right after the duel. When was the execution? Monday the 29th. So July 29th. That was when McCready was going to be executed. Let's see. Wow, wait a minute. According to this, there was a total eclipse of the sun that day, centered right over the Western Territories and with its totality at 2:47 p.m. That's a hell of a thing. I got a question for you. Okay, here we go. I looked up July 29th in your almanac. What? Now you're just messing with me. No, look for yourself. Totality at 2:47 right over the Western Territories. Well, that's quite a thing, but I don't see how that affects... Wait, unless you're suggesting... Right, it was the perfect opportunity for McCready to escape. That's absurd. Absurd like a fox. You said yourself that McCready was really good at remembering dates. He could have read about the eclipse at any time, store that knowledge away for future use, like to give himself an advantage in a duel or something. Alright, that's reasonable as far as it goes, but McCready couldn't have worked the eclipse into an escape plan because he didn't have any say over the court schedule. You said, what with one thing and another, the trial didn't start until July 25th. McCready could have caused any number of those delays himself by faking illness in prison or messing with the horses on the ride to Frisco or anything. This could also explain the trial by combat. You mean there ended up being too much delay, so if a regular trial went on too long and he was found guilty, he'd have missed the eclipse. Exactly, whereas if you called for trial by combat, everything would be resolved one way or another in only one more day. Maybe you'd win and that'd be fine, but if you lost, he could use his escape plan. I have to admit this is pretty compelling, but it's all maybes and what ifs. Yeah, maybe it happened, but maybe McCready was rescued by leprechauns. Oh man, are there leprechauns at Frisco? I mean, I'm north of it. You need some kind of hard evidence before any of this makes more than just a fun story is what I mean. Alright. Let me ask you something else. How can I find evidence of McCready's escape? Well, we don't know that an escape even happened. Something like that would have been in the news for certain. Well, libraries are known for having newspapers. So maybe it's in here? You find a few bundles of old newspapers at the bottom of the shelf. The Frisco Newsinator. You start at the bottom of the stack and flip through them until you find the papers for the week of July 28th, August 3rd, 1878. The main feature has to do with the eclipse and various accidents and spectacles that occurred because most people weren't expecting it. The editor apologized for burying the announcement in the previous week's weather forecast. Most notably, all 3 men scheduled to be hanged on the 29th escaped in the confusion, and only 2 of them were recaptured. Unfortunately, their names weren't given. You don't find anything else relevant to the case. However, as you're putting the papers back in order on the shelf, a headline on a more recent issue catches your eye. Husband of famous inventor missing. The article is light on information, but apparently Mrs. Gunn's husband, Dan, vanished on the road while traveling to Dirtwater on business about 6 years ago. Law enforcement suspected bandits, but no evidence was found. It's kind of grim. Okay, we're going to stop and talk to her one more time. I got a question for you. I found a newspaper article. The guy scheduled to be executed the day of the eclipse escaped, and one of them was never caught. Which one? Well, didn't say, did it? Nope, damn it. The executed criminals aren't given gravestones with their names on them, so you can't just go looking around Frisco Cemetery to find out. Listen, Callista, I really appreciate what you're trying to do, but at this point you would have to actually find McCready himself to prove he wasn't executed due to my failure. I guess that's what I'll do then. Any idea where I should start looking for McCready? Your guess is as good as mine. I have to imagine you got as far as the heck away from Frisco as you could, though, if he's the one that escaped. Okay, hold on. Okay. Now, the great news is I actually do have an idea where he is. No, I'm just trying to remember exactly where it is. M. McCready. Stuck to his guns, dig up the grave. You dig until your shovel hits a wooden coffin and haul the lid open. A skeleton blinks at you. Well, it doesn't, but anyway. Howdy. Howdy, are you guilty, McCready? Well, now, I ain't heard that name in... What year is it? 1895. 17 years. No, I tell a lie, there was that one time 8 years ago. The same McCready that escaped the gallows during an eclipse? Well, now, since the statute of limitations expired, I might as well fess up. Yep, that was me. Real sweet playing, too. Apart from one little hitch, it went off smooth as silk. Even worked in a little misdirection to leave the law to them other 2 fellas instead of me. Serves 'em right, too. They was real murderers. Not like me. I never killed a man except in a fair fight. Except for that one little hitch you mentioned? You miscalculated how long to delay the trial. So in order not to miss the eclipse, you called for trial by combat. Oh, well, yep, that's the truth of it. You're blaming me for Miss Wainwright's death, I suppose. Why didn't you just trust her? She would have gotten you declared innocent. She had a real good head on her shoulders, sure, but so did that prosecutor fella. I didn't rate the odds better than 50-50. Not good enough. And anyway, the trial by combat was part of her job. She should have been ready. That stinks. She trusted you. She's a ghost now because she feels guilty about losing that trial. I spent ages trying to convince her you weren't innocent, and she backed you every step of the way despite the fact that you got her killed. And you don't even care? Hell, you bite your tongue, missy. You don't know me. Don't care. I did what I felt I had to do to stay alive, and I felt damn guilty about what happened to Miss Wainwright. But I ain't taking all the blame for it. No, ma'am. She'll tell you herself she should have been better prepared, just like she told me that day, apologizing with her last breath. I gave up gunfighting for her. Gave up the only thing I live for. That's how I felt about it. You gave up gunfighting? Wasn't easy, but I did. Bought this house, bought this land, raised some chickens, and had a little vegetable garden. Place has gone to hell since I died. That's a shame. Anyway, I never fired my pistol again, not even at a damn fence post. That's not what it says on your grave. Oh, read it again. That's what. That's the feller what killed me. Having a little ironic joke, I reckon. Someone killed you? You're only the second person to track me down. First was 9 years after the trial. Victims were his brother hunting for revenge. What happened? He challenged me to a duel, and I told him I ain't doing that no more. He asked again, and I said no, and he holstered, and he hollered and looked at me, and I took my pistol out of the closet, threw it at his feet so he could see how the cylinder was all rusted shut. And he cocked his gun and asked me one last time, and I said no, and the last thing I remember is the bang. Jeez. Kinda him to bury me, though. Guess he weren't all that bad. Do you want to see Felicity again? I could take you to her ghost. Nah, I reckon I'll just go back to sleep. Ain't right, a dead fellow walking around. Just tell her sorry for me, alright? Here, you can give her my pocket watch. She'll recognize it. Alright, bye, McCready. So long, miss. I really like this story. Alright. Lots of back and forth tonight, guys. Lots of back and forth. Whee! Okay. Got a question for you. Are you ready for this? What now? I found McCready's grave. He wasn't executed. You're 100% certain it's him, not some other man named McCready. It was him. Here, he gave me this watch to give you. She turns the watch around in her hands for a while, just looking at it without saying anything. And then she slowly winds it and listens as it chimes the hour. Yes, this is his watch. Alright, thank you. Wait, you said he gave it to you. He's alive? Not exactly. He's a skeleton. We talked for a while, then he asked me to bury him again so he could go back to sleep. What did he say? He confirmed our guesses. He knew about the eclipse in advance and stalled the trial for his escape plan, but stalled it too long and decided to hedge his bet by calling for the trial by combat. I see. He gave up gunfighting. He what? He bought a little house and raised chickens, never fired his pistol again. In fact, he left it to rust. 9 years later, Timsbury's brother caught up to him and challenged him to a revenge match. McCready refused repeatedly, so the guy shot him. He said to tell you he was sorry. She looks at you silently for a moment, then looks at the watch. She winds the hand back a minute and listens as it chimes again. She sighs and shakes her head, then smiles at you. Thank you, Callista. You'd make a damn fine attorney. She shakes your hand and fades from view as she does so, leaving her attorney's badge in your hand. What? What does that do? Oh, it goes on your lapel, which I think is this? That's 11 armor. I don't really want to give up that armor. Alright. Hi, Paul. Shh, is the ghost still there? No, I took care of her. Oh, thank God, I've got to go wash his flour off and get back to work. But first, he starts frantically scratching every part of his body. Man, feels like I've been saving up these itches for days. I was about to go crazy. Thanks, Callista. You're a lifesaver. No problemo. Come see me at the visitor center. I'll hook you up with a souvenir photograph. Paul wanders off, still scratching. Okay. Wait, I'm on the second floor. Thanks again for your help. What an ordeal. No problem. How's the itching? More or less better. I mean, hygiene is what it is in this day and age, you know? Would you like a souvenir photograph? It's only 200 meat. Sure. Wait a second. This is a photograph of the house. Yep, an official gun manor souvenir photo. Why'd you take a picture of me, then? Oh, that's just for our records. Okay. This is a souvenir photograph of Gun Manor. Looking at it, it reminds you of the time you visited Gun Manor and bought a photograph of it. According to my weird instruments, there's only one ghost left on the premises, and it's on the, let's see, the 3rd floor of the manor. Okay. Knock, knock. Yes? It's Callista and Florence, ma'am, the ghost hunters. Florence and Callista. Whatever. I do feel significantly less haunted. Did you get rid of all the ghosts? We sure did, ma'am. Actually, my scanner says there's still one. Shh. Yes, ma'am. All the ghosts are accounted for. Well, that's splendid. Come right on in. Thanks. Yep. Hello, Mrs. Gunn. Hello, Callista, was it? Thank you so much for getting rid of all those ghosts for me. Yeah, about that. Turns out there's one left. Oh dear, well I need you to take care of it before I can pay you. Miss Gunn, I've got some bad news for you. Oh, what's that? It's you. You're a ghost, ma'am. Well, I'll be. When did that happen, I wonder? My condolences. Why, thank you. You're very kind. You know, this does explain some things. Like what? Well, I haven't had any appetite for months. Nearly a year, in fact. They keep sending food up from the kitchen to the dumbwaiter, but I've just been dropping it out the window and sending the empty plates back so the chef won't have her feelings hurt. There's also the fact that you're, well, translucent. Yeah, I thought it was just cataracts. Miss Gunn, this prompts a question, you know. Oh, what's that? Why are you a ghost? Well, I'm sure I don't know. You're the expert. Perhaps you can tell me? Actually, that's me. I'm the expert. Do you happen to have some kind of unfinished business? Something that's tying you to this place? Well, now that you mention it, yes, I suppose I do. Do you mind telling me about it? My entire family disappeared a few years ago. My husband and 3 daughters. Oh yeah, I heard about that. I'm sorry for your loss. The sheriff suspected they'd been kidnapped for ransom, and no one ever made any demands. They just vanished, and I never found out what happened. I always thought they were taken away by ghosts. Why'd you think that? I always felt guilty about how many people have been killed by my invention. The belt buckle? The gun. Oh, right. I used to worry that their ghosts would come back to haunt me. When I built this house, I had an electrical anti-ghost field installed in the walls of this room so they couldn't get in. No way! Awesome! Wait, doesn't that affect you? Well, I'm sure it would if I attempted to walk through the wall, but it never occurred to me to try. After Dan and the girls disappeared, I became so sure the ghosts had gotten them that I locked myself in here, after donating the rest of the house to the Historical Society, so there'd be someone to look after the place. Now I feel rather silly about the whole thing. Silly? I mean, ghosts do exist, obviously. Well, yes, but now that I'm a ghost myself, I can sense the presence of other ghosts, and they only just arrived at this house yesterday or the day before. That's when I called for an exterminator. You know, I didn't even question how I knew they were there, but I don't think that there have been many ghosts here before then. Why didn't they all show up yesterday? I couldn't say. They all seemed very angry and confused, but since they couldn't get in here, they gave up and just started wandering around the house. They gave up quite easily, actually. Maybe because you were already a ghost yourself. Well, Ms. Gunn, what are we going to do with you? What do you mean? You did contract me for 13 ghosts, ma'am. You're the 13th. Oh, well. Yes, obviously, I could simply renegotiate the number with you, but perhaps you should go ahead and exercise me or whatever you do. I'd rather find a more peaceful solution. A peaceful solution? What do you mean? Well, we can also release you from your ghostitude by solving the problem that's keeping you here. In your case, I guess that means finding out what happened to your family. Oh, well, I
I'd be very grateful if you could. I assume they're dead, and to be honest, I think I've gotten used to that fact, but I sure would like to know how it actually happened. See what I can do. The sign on this case says break-in case of attic. Break it. Think it was in here. Okay. I'm gonna... Okay. Hey, who the heck are you? I'm Callista Earp, but since I'm not the guy who's apparently hiding out in Ms. Gunn's attic, I feel like you ought to be the one answering that question. Who am I? Well, that's just frickin' typical. I'm Shea Bullet. Damn it. Am I supposed to have heard that name before? Yes, you damn well should have. Ms. Gunn's invention would have never been nothing without mine. Wait, let me guess. You invented the bullet? Phew, I thought for sure you were going to say the belt buckle again. Oh, shoot, now I want to change my guess. You're damn right I invented the bullet, but I was your assistant, so I didn't get any credit? Hell no! Okay, well, maybe I feel like talking to you later. Sounds like you got an axe to grind. Not for much longer. Yeah, looks like we found the bad guy. Okay, Shet, go ahead and tell us the details of your whole nefarious plan. I don't care much for your tone. Why should I tell you anything? Well, I could just punch your face till it starts talking of its own accord. How about that? Well, it's too late for me to stop me anyway, so I suppose it couldn't hurt to tell you. Certainly not as much as not telling me would. When Mrs. Gunn dies, control of the company and patents passes to me. I'm no murderer, mind you. I like to keep my hands clean. But I figure there might be some other people who'd have a bone pick with her, considering their manner of death. You summon all those ghosts? That's right, all it took was some basic seance equipment wired up to the house's belfry for amplification. A snap for a mechanical genius like me. But seance gear summons ghosts related to the summoner. That's the whole point of a medium, a person who knows how to direct the summoning on one's behalf, so you get to talk to your own grandma instead of the summoners. You don't seem like the medium type to me. More like a small... But that does explain something I've been wondering about. Oh? It didn't make any sense for all the ghosts here to be haunting Mrs. Gunn, because some of them weren't killed by guns. They were all killed by bullets. Naturally, I anticipated there'd be a couple of those. That's why I rigged this room with an anti-ghost field, which I cleverly boosted so the ghosts couldn't even sense me up here. So your plan was... Oh, I just got an achievement. So... Oh, so sorry, guys. My phone was going off. It's my alarm. So your plan was to summon a bunch of angry ghosts who would initially be looking for you, but would haunt Mrs. Gunn instead when they couldn't find you? Correct, and once they haunted her to death, Gunn Industries will be all mine. Well, I hate to be the bearer of good news, but Mrs. Gunn is dead. On the bright side, she's been dead for a year, so you pretty much wasted your time. What? Really? Ha ha ha! I'm rich! Now I just need to get out of here without all those ghosts spotting me. Yeah, the ghosts are gone too. So you're pretty much in the clear. Wonderful, the anti-ghost field is pretty effective, but it was starting to make the back part of my brain itch. He flips a switch on an electrical device, and you suddenly become aware of the absence of extremely low-frequency hum right on the edge of your hearing. Don't run off just yet. I'll be right back. Holy cow, there's some really big bells hanging above you. This house has the biggest bells of them all. Box of science stuff. Ring the bells. Oh. talk to her. Something else I want to ask you about. Ask away. What happened to Mrs. Gunn's family? Oh, them. They've been out of the picture for years. I heard a rumor Dan got killed by desperados and buried in a shallow grave out in the backside of nowhere. Of course, I wouldn't actually know anything about that. Lucky for me, since I couldn't have inherited the company with him around, or their daughters. You son of a... Relax, the girls are fine. I'm not a monster. Pretty sure you're a monster. Well, there's a weird little island kingdom somewhere on the other side of the ocean, apparently stuck in some kind of bizarre temporal field that keeps anyone from entering or leaving. Can't even find the place if you don't know how. Fortunately, I know a guy who knows how, so I gave the girls three free tickets to Sleepaway Camp. Wasn't that nice of me? You're an absolute bastard. Oh, that hurts my feelings. Unfortunately, I'm about to have a whole lot of money to console myself with. Why, you... Hold on. We should talk to Miss Gunn first before you tear his ass a new hole. Huh? I thought you said she was dead. Depending on what she says, you might be too. Well, actually, let's do that. Hello, Miss Gunn. Have you managed to find out anything? Yeah, I have good news and bad news. Chet Bullitt had your husband killed and your daughter's kidnapped, so he'll be the sole inheritor of your company when you died. He's also the reason all the ghosts were here. That son of a... I should have expected something when he suddenly started being so ingratiating back then. And when he wrote off desperados on his expense account. I'd write him out of my will, but I suppose it's too late. That's rather galling. What's the good news? He says your daughters are safe. They're just on a magical island somewhere that nobody can get to? That's not exactly comforting, but at this point I'll take it. Plainly, if he'd wanted to kill them, he could have just done so. Wait, you spoke to him personally? You with all 13 of the ghosts peacefully. Yeah, he didn't know you were already dead, so he's been hiding in your attic for the last couple of days waiting for the ghost to kill you. What do you want me to do with him? I'll leave it up to you. I'm not in a state to make any reasoned judgment. In any case, you've answered my question, and I can feel myself moving on already. Thank you for all your help. So with a sad wave, Mrs. Gunn fades from view. Then, almost as an afterthought, the lock on her desk drawer pops open. Inside, you find a check written out to Cunningham Ghost Annihilation Services, which flows snags with a cha-ching and a blueprint. Now, the thing is, I may have screwed something up. I don't know if I can use that blueprint anymore. Oh, here we go. Never mind. It's a bench cover with gunsmithing tools. You follow the directions on the blueprint and construct your final gift to the world, Mrs. Gunn's opus. So my current gun is the Silented Intimidating Gun. Plus 5 muscle and silented. 9 muscle, 9 mysticality, and 9 moxie. Hell yes. And make a silenter. Actually, just really quickly, I know the worst gun is 1. Where is the other one I had? Silented Intimidating 6 gun. That was 10 to 13 damage. Yeah, and the new one's 20 to 25. Okay. Okay. Go to the 3rd floor.
Hmm. Yeah, I need to figure out... What a man of terribleness being! Are we allowing him away getting with it? Away getting... Oh, no, some kind of justice is definitely called for. Maybe a ghost telling about the doings of him? They would so angry being, I bet. Hmm... That drives that really stupid. Nope. I need to figure out what that combination is. The question is... where would I even figure that out? It's a really good question. Like, where would that even be at? I could brute force it, but that's not as much fun. There's nobody really in the house that can help me. And she didn't give me any information. You know, I think better yet, let's try going to the museum. Not the museum. That's not what I'm thinking. Library. Let's try going to the library. Just see if there's anything in here. No. If anybody has an idea, feel free to throw it out at this point. Because I'm a little lost on this one. I actually do not remember this. Truth be told, I actually did this the wrong way. I actually just straight up murdered him. But I know that there's a better way of doing this. I'm gonna try something really stupid. I don't think it works. But I'm gonna try. Ha! Okay, maybe it wasn't so stupid after all. As the eerie sound of the bells fades away, ethereal outlines begin to appear around you and resolve one at a time into familiar spirits. Monsieur Loathing and the lady who was running the boo and breakfast and the librarian. You know, you really didn't get very many of their names. Maybe you should be better about introducing yourself to people. Anyway, you're soon surrounded by a small crowd of ghosts, with Miss Gunn being the last to arrive. This is the bell tower in my house. Callista? What's happened? Yeah, nice to see you again, but what's up, counselor? I suppose you're all wondering why I've summoned you here today. I did just ask you that, yes. Well, I've come to some information that I think you all might be interested in. This won't take long, will it? I need to get back to the afterlife. What's the hurry? They've got an all-you-can-eat buffet with every kind of meat and nugget form. Gumi would be in heaven. Oh my gosh. You unholster your pistol and slowly put it against your temple. Can't get that there that way, you dummy. Rats. You put the gun away again. Anyway, let me explain. Felicity, how did you feel when you got here? Originally, I mean. Well, I remember being very angry. I wanted revenge for my death. But the feeling went away pretty quickly, and I couldn't remember why it felt like that. I'm not the vengeful type. It doesn't even really make sense in your case. Yes, exactly. I never bore any ill will toward the prosecutor that shot me. Was it basically the same for the rest of you? Just like that, yes. Myself as well. Me too! Thought so. Well, here's the deal. You were all summoned here for the explicit purpose of taking revenge on Mrs. Gunn here. Attends, I was not killed by Legon. I wasn't either. Yeah, some of you weren't. The summoning happened based on your connection to the summoner himself, Chet Bullet, the inventor of the bullet, but he was hiding with an anti-ghost technology, and assumed that enough of your deaths would be gun-related that you'd turn your attention to Mrs. Gunn instead. Well, that's just dirty pool, and I should know considering I got shot for playing dirty pool. The thing is, he didn't know that Mrs. Gunn was already a ghost, so with nobody to take revenge on, you all just reverted to your regular state of mind. Huh, well, I appreciate the info, but was it really necessary to call us all back just to tell us that? What I really wanted is to tell you that Chet Bullet has turned off his anti-ghost field. He's over there at the opposite end of the attic. Now, I'm not going to make any noise about he's ultimately responsible for all your deaths, because that would be both crazy and also belittle the actual circumstances of your deaths. But Chet Bullet murdered Mrs. Gunn's husband, kidnapped her daughters, and attempted to use you all to kill Mrs. Gunn herself. So if y'all are interested in a little frontier justice, 13 is a pretty good number for a posse. The ghosts all turn to look at each other, and their eyes begin to glow red. The hunter is the first to leave the circle, closely followed by the poacher. Soon they've all left, except for Felicity Wainwright and Mrs. Gunn. Mrs. Gunn looks hesitant for a moment, then seems to make up her mind. She gives you a stern nod, then follows the others. You turn away and soon hear a man screaming, but the sound quickly decreases in volume as though he were being pulled a great distance away, and then it's gone entirely. I figured you wouldn't be into it, Felicity. Yeah, despite everything, I still believe in the rule of law. Didn't see you trying to stop them, though. Nope. No, you certainly didn't. Well, I won't keep you any longer. Happy trails, Counselor. You too, Counselor. She fades away with a wink. All's well that ends well. Well, that's it. You reckon that your careful recon of the situation has brought some true reckoning to Gun Manor. Congratulations on getting the best ending. Feel free to wander around the grounds and enjoy the scenery and maybe wrap up some loose ends, but otherwise you're pretty much done here. Thanks for playing the reckoning at Gun Manor. There's a weird black scorch mark on the floor where Chet was standing. Huh. Hey, Flo, what do you know? What's on your mind? Wow, I've never seen ghosts do that to anyone. I ain't even real sure what they did. Maybe you should start trying this diplomacy thing? Maybe I should shoot them even faster? Jeez, Florence, come on. Nah, I'm just joking. You've done a real good job here. It's been an eye-opener. Glad to hear it. Come on, get in there. Which floor do you want to ruin next? All the floors. I wonder if I say anything to anybody in the visitor center if it changes anything. Nope, nothing really to say to any of them. Well, friends, that is the end of West of Loathing. I do realize that, yes, I could continue on. I could potentially, like, go off, and I don't think there's any, like, new areas to discover for me or anything. There might be some up here, maybe. But, like I said initially, I want to leave some stuff so that, you know, if anybody's out there is interested in playing this, I kind of like leaving some stuff. Plus, it's a lot to kind of quote unquote complete this game and get everything in it. Plus, I don't really want to have to play through as both of the other classes again. So yeah, I think we're gonna call it there, guys. I really appreciate everybody dropping in. It's fantastic. You guys have all been great. I just really appreciate having you all here and having the support. You guys have been fantastic. So let's see. Where are we gonna go head off to? Ooh. I know exactly where we're going to go head off to. We have somebody celebrating 800 followers and a new model. Guys, we're going to go raid our friend Hoshi. So let me get that all set up. Let's get you guys to the end screen. I don't know what game I'm going to play next. I've been tempted to play Subnautica 2, but then again, it's also not going to be done by the, you know, it's not fully released. It's an early access. So I'm kind of waiting, kind of figuring out if I really want to do that or not, or if I just want to do that multiplayer with some friends for all of you to watch. And then, like, maybe do the whole game when it actually releases, which God knows when that's going to happen, but we'll have to see. But yeah, for now, I don't know. I might actually jump into Shadows over Loathing next stream, maybe. Tomorrow night, just as a heads up, tomorrow night, Chained Together. I'm going to be running Chained Together with friends. As long as everything works out and pans out fine, we're going to be doing that. So keep an eye out for the stream tomorrow. And then also, Pyre will also be Pyre will also be streaming probably closer toward the end of our stream. So keep an eye out for that as well. But for now, we're going to go raid our dear friend Hoshi. Start that raid. Okay, guys. If you're interested in joining the Discord and you want to come and hang out with us, or you want to come hang out and play D&D or watch D&D, listen to D&D, there it is. If you would like to use our raid message, and I do highly encourage that you do, there is our raid message. But I'm going to send you all over to Hoshi. Again, I love you all. Thank you all so much for coming and hanging out with me and playing games and relaxing and chilling with me. These Mellow Monday streams are my favorite. And not that I don't love the group games, but I do love the Mellow Monday streams. And it's been absolutely wonderful hanging out with all of you. So, love you all. I will see you all real soon. But we're going to go raid Hoshi. Congratulate them on 800 followers. And I will see you all real soon. Toodles.